guys, thanks for watching Homesteading on the Side, and today I'm going to make some Italian bread to go with dinner. So I like to start my French breads, my Italian breads, using a starter. And a starter is just flour, yeast, and water. I use a big gallon jar that I have to do my starters because it's going to rise and bubble up and get all fermented. It'll be wonderful, add a wonderful flavor to the bread. And I find using purified or filtered water works better than tap water because our tap water has iron or chlorine, stuff like that in it, and I find that just using purified and filtered water does a lot better and it rises better. So I'm just going to start, and I've got my canning funnel, and I'm going to put 2 cups of flour, get it all down in there, and then 1 cup of water. And then to that, a 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. So you want to make sure that you get it stirred really good, and it's going to be kind of hard to stir, and as you can see it's going to be real stiff, and it's going to be doughy and sticky and gummy, but I use a plastic spoon to stir. That way it doesn't get all into my wood spoons. So now you're just going to have to let it sit. And I don't have any cheesecloth, but I usually use the cheesecloth. I just take a paper towel and put it over the top, and then use the ring for this jar and just screw it on like that. So I'm just going to let this sit on my stove until I am ready to use it tonight to make bread, and we'll see you when it's time. So this has been sitting for 4 hours, and you can see when we started we had little less than this line here. It was about to here. So you can see how much that it has come up, and you can see all the bubbles in it. That's it doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. So this is just 4 hours, and I'm going to keep letting it sit probably for another 4 before I start to make the bread for dinner. So we'll see you in another couple hours. Alright, so it's been 8 hours, and here's the starter. I said you can see that it has gotten humongous. See all the bubbles inside? That means it is ready to go. I said usually I let it rise overnight, but kind of in a pinch. And here it is. See all the bubbles in it. So I'm going to add this to 1/2 cup of water here in my stand mixer. And I'm going to add the starter and the water together and just mix it till it kind of combines. So there's the starter and the water, and it's all mixed together. So the starter will be stringy and it'll be super thick, and you want to mix it with the water to get it to kind of break up a little bit. And now to this I'm going to add 2 cups of flour, up to an extra 1/2 cup just if it's too tacky, 2 teaspoons of yeast, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So there it is, all coming together. You can see it's not touching the sides anymore. It's all one piece of dough. So I'm going to take this off the hook and put it in the bottom, and then knead it for 5 minutes. And then I'm going to let it rise in a greased bowl for 1 hour. So the dough has been rising an hour, and you can see that it has doubled in size. Sorry about all the stuff. It's for baked spaghetti we're having tonight. I'll leave a link to it. But what you want to do is just kind of punch it down. So I'm one-handed. It's super soft. Turn it out. So you want to make sure you get it some of the air bubbles out, not all of it. And I'm just going to shape this into a loaf and then put it on my baking sheet. So, and this actually is good. I'll leave it kind of just like that because I want it thick. I don't want it super skinny. But yep, I'll just shape this, and then I've got here a baking sheet that I have put some semolina on. You can use cornmeal if that's what you have, but I actually went and bought semolina just for this purpose when I make breads and when I do pizza dough. So here's what it looks like. It is super, super fine, almost like sand, like powder. So I have put that on my cookie sheet. Sorry about the mess. And I'm going to start preheating my oven to 425 degrees, and I'm going to let the loaf rise while the oven's preheating. Alright, so it has risen for an hour, and you can see that it has puffed up quite nicely. My oven is preheated to 425 degrees, and now I'm just going to take some egg white and just brush the top. That'll give it that crispy crust that you get like on baguettes and French bread. Have the super nice and fluffy inside and kind of a crust on the outside. So this will bake 450 degrees for 25 minutes. Here it is out of the oven. You can see the semolina kept it from sticking, and it sounds hollow when you tap on it. That's how you know that it's done. Hope you enjoy.